Shantogen.
Hey, before we get into the video itself, I just want to apologize about the audio. I understand it's a little bit all over the place. I did end up switching back to an older microphone, so it's a little bit more consistent, but until that point, you will notice the audio being a little bit wonky. I chose to record this instead of having to re-record hours worth of footage. So thank you and enjoy the video.
Bienvenidos mi gente, and welcome to my take on sushi. I am a Factorio player now, so it is only a rite of passage that I make a sushi video. So, let's go ahead and I will get kick-started while I explain to you the details. As you guys are probably seeing currently, I am choosing to go full default. I thought about disabling expansions, but I'm gonna give it an honest shot of trying to do it with just straight default settings before acquiescing to shenanigans to try and get things, to work at least in a favorable manner. The only mods that I'm using are quality of life. I finally completed my no spoon run, as you guys saw, so I officially am allowing myself mods, and I have some quality of life mods. Most of them probably won't even play much into the game, so I will just list them here so that you can see all of the mods I have. Great, fantastic. I'm gonna feed this with wood because I can't be bothered to go mining because there's no rock anywhere. Okay. My take on sushi. We'll let Past Shanto get everything started there, and I'll go ahead and Editor Shanto will explain to you the rules of engagement for this run. Rule number 1, Sushi Belt. Everything has to go on the belt. Not in any particular order, not separated on sides. Everything has to go on the belt. A la random. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sushi. Second rule, no splitters, because splitters is taking one belt and turning it to 2 belts. And I want 1 belt. Yes. Rule number 3, only 1 continuous, unbroken belt. That is the rules. The belt, you need to be able to stand on the belt and loop all the way around and back without having to lift a finger. Those are the rules for this run. The first part that you're seeing here currently in sped up form is just the first hour and some change while I patiently waited for things to solve. So we're going to go ahead and skip that, and we're going to go to where we are now. Thank you, Editor Shanto. Welcome back, people. Oh, ugh. Okay. Stuff has happened, as you can definitely see. I even have a buffer now. Oh, where do I begin? Okay. So with the rules covered, this right here, you may be asking, well, what's this nicely organized bit here? And this is one of the liberties that I have offered myself, which is for handcrafting. Each one only has 1 stack. I'm allowed to store 1 stack of every item so that I can either handcraft, or in this case, belts and inserters, because I'm going to need quite a bit of those as this gets longer. Maybe not so much belts, we'll see, but that buffer is of any indication of what things are to come, yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of belts. That being said, let's see what we go ahead and got here. So we have one red, one green, two reds actually, and three green. Just forgot that I added those in. And the reason I added those in is because again, I'm also, though this is not a hard set rule, I'm going to do my best to not use circuits in this one either. Yeah, I know, I just like torturing myself. I don't know why. So, in lieu of not having circuits to measure things, I need to make sure that I am consuming the items, that the items are essentially disappearing into the science ether faster than I am generating it. So science is probably going to be the one thing that I overproduce as far as when it comes to assemblers, whereas everything else I'm only going to try to produce enough. I had to add two more inserters because I need inserters so that I can make more assemblers and feed them. But I also don't want too many inserters on the belt. So at first I only made one. I wasn't even getting any green. I now have three, and I still don't have that many green. So I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying to troubleshoot that, but it's definitely the inserters. I think this side of the belt is getting a little thick, but my ah yeah, I just I don't have space to put it in. So this right here is one of my switch side. Because I'm not allowed to use inserters and it has to be one continuous belt, these inserters pull from this side and put it on the near side, so that way these can let go of their item. So on and so forth. I also have one of those over here. And this here specifically is just a scrambler. This here, think of it as your balancer, so to speak, but for one belt sushi. All they do is pass items between each other and put them back on the belt. Changing sides, mixing it up, just making sure that, things are well mixed, you could say. Because of the buffer, I do have some open space, so stuff is still getting put onto the belt, but it's clearly we have a bit of a clog here. And from the looks of it, I think it might be like if I. It's so hard to tell because I'm not using circuits to count anything. So since I'm not counting anything, it's like, how much of everything I have? Like I'm just looking over on top. Like if I scroll all the way out and just kind of look from the top, I see a lot of gray and some black. And that gray is mostly stone. So I could probably store a stack of stone. Let's go ahead and do that. I should alleviate at least some of the stone. Because I do have regular stone stored, right? Yeah, I have regular stone stored, so this can be that stone. Maybe I can empty out the belt a little bit there, and then the guy that I had doing stone, let's switch you to iron. I think we need more iron. Then, yeah, you don't have anything there, and you don't have anything in your hand. Great, great, fantastic. So that should be able to work just fine. One of the mods that I have is lighted poles. Hopefully this is better, especially at night. I did turn down the intensity a lot, because at first they kind of looked really weird. I may have lowered it a little too much, so I will try and remember to put, you know, little bits of lighting. This from here's one of the, floor lamp lights. It's nice because you can walk over them, essentially. Oh right. I explained it in the bit that I was speeding up, but we'll talk about it here. As you guys are aware, this here is Bob the Boiler. He is the boiler from our One Boiler Challenge.
You know, Bob is still working hard. But now, we also have Barry, the boiler. One of many friends that Bob will have. Bob will remain with us. The other boilers will probably leave on this planet, but we'll take Bob with us, alright? Barry, I'm sorry. You know, you're a friend for here, but once we're done with this, you're gonna stay with the sushi and we're going somewhere else. Alright? Alright. I think, yeah, I did craft enough to expand power a little bit, because I think I was running a little bit. Well, still well under capacity, but now we have a bit more to work with, so we're not too slow on that front. Oh man, this just looks like a nightmare. Oh, I see green assemblers working though. We got green science flowing, guys. We got green science flowing. Oh, this is so painful. This is so painful. So please, enjoy the next several hours of my life in condensed and rapid form. See you on the other side. Welcome back to my nightmare. We are here sitting in a sea of trash. I have no idea how many items I have. No idea if I'm overflowing on one or the other. Right now, it's just a bunch of garbage everywhere. Welcome back. Thank you guys for sticking that out. Hope you enjoyed. I haven't edited it yet, so I don't even know what the montage is. But I know that I will be inserting a montage, so I hope it was enjoyable. As you can see, it has been an hour and a half, almost 2 hours ish, since our last check in. And we're already starting to stack up some stuff here. We have 3 piercing rounds. How many walls we have? We have 23 walls. I decided to do walls because, as you can see, we are getting very close to pissing off some biters. I set up a temporary, very lonely little defense setup here. It's probably not going to do much, but my goal is to try and drag them to it, so that way they can kill them if they do come in. And then, hopefully, by the time they do start coming, I will have made enough red ammo that I can steal from here, be able to make more turrets, or power more turrets, you could say. That being said, right now we're actually short on reds. The belt is overwhelmingly orange. I am aware of that. Uh, it's just because I just recently increased copper on the belt. As you can see, I actually added a few more. Maybe I'm gonna turn this one back to iron, because I feel like... Oh no, this is one of my random ones, right? So yeah, you could definitely go back to being iron. Thank you. And then I also have an official stone one to make walls with, because we will be doing military science
at least a little bit, enough to be able to get flamethrowers so I don't have to worry about constantly protecting my base. We have a few more miners on different things. Oh, of course, I need to introduce you to one of Bob's newest friends, Bert. We have Bert now. Bob, Barry, and Bert. Those are the ones powering my base. And at this point, we are getting really close to solar. I'm actually going to go ahead and queue that up while we're there. Maybe get some. That's already queued. That's queued. That's queued. That's queued. Yes, I suppose it's time that we should start considering upgrading, but. Uh, oh man, this is going to be painful. Oh, okay. Sorry. Little existential crisis there of all the work that's left ahead. So to give you the rundown, we have 3 boilers now, 1 stone, couple of coal, couple of copper, or a few coal, few copper, a handful of iron, and that is what we have. We also have our sushi buffer, as previously established. We also have this, the forward flusher. Basically, what this contraption here does. So, this right here is called the back end balancer. This here is trying to get everything so that it's on the back end for the miners up here so that they have space. It doesn't fully clean it up, but it does a pretty decent job of at least leaving holes so that way these furnaces can actually put onto the belt. The next thing we have here, and also you can see that I have a few facing different ways. That is just to help mix the items along. So I don't want to put everything on the back end. I just want to maybe get some holes in there, mix it up a little bit, try to get it so that it's nice and sort of balanced. This here is the forward flusher. These are not actually whitelisted, they're blacklisted. All the ores are blacklisted on these, meaning the only thing it is flushing forwards are things that are not ores. I had to do that because I was just running into problems with the furnaces just not being able to melt things, not because I didn't have ores, but the ores were just going by and while they were waiting for things. This was before I upgraded to steel furnaces. And so I had to figure out something to try and unclog the clog that was happening at the furnace stack. And the forward flusher was that solution. It basically takes anything that's not ore and puts it further up on the sushi belt past the ore line. So that way, only the furnaces have to deal with mostly ore. Not everything gets grabbed, of course, sushi is sushi, but it does a decent enough job of unclogging this. Hence why I named it the forward flusher. Added some more squigglies, then I gave up on the squigglies, and now we have straight lines. And here's just another one of those balancers that balance it towards the back to try and get base for these guys to be able to put onto the belt. And then we have, what, 6 labs, out of which 2 are running? Can you tell that I'm having fun? I actually am kind of having fun, but yeah, I gotta play it up a little bit. It's interesting. It's definitely an interesting thing to try and overcome, and my brain is still trying to figure out liquids, which, you know what, that's going to be a tomorrow Shanto problem, because a today Shanto problem is calling it here. See, for you guys, it'll probably cut halfway through this sentence.
See, there we go. We are now on the next day, and um, things have complicated. Frustration has set in, and I just needed to bring you guys back to kind of walk through some thoughts here, cause yeah, okay. So, I know. I said I wasn't going to use circuits, and technically speaking, these circuits aren't doing anything other than reading. I bend the rule to be able to register what is reading on any like certain section of the buffer so that I could try to comprehend where it is that I'm falling short on things, right? So, that being said, uh, the numbers are definitely not balanced. I am I have now way more coal. For a while there, I actually had way more steel. Steel has gone down, which makes sense because I just increased demand for gears. Instead of putting more assemblers down, I have put a few more in, but I've been reassigning the ones that I do have. Long story short, this is the important number. All the items that are flowing through here, coming in through here, is only flowing at about 6 items per second. The belt speed of a yellow belt is 15 items per second. At that speed, and at the range of what this is going to be able to craft at, it's too slow. It's too slow. I want this challenge to be done in a reasonable amount of time. I don't mind having to wait a while for it to finish, but at my going rate, using only one belt, yeah, we need to change. So I did put in red belts to try and start updating. I'm actually going to uncap that box so that way it can start going. But as you can see, I still haven't made enough to even make a single one. I'm missing gears, which I think it takes quite a bit of gears for that to go through. So I guess I will take another, because right now I'm waiting on military science. So I think I can take another green science and turn it into gears. The reason I'm using green science is because green science also takes up belts, so hopefully I can keep the belts using for that, and then go from there. But oh boy, things are not looking good. They are not looking good. Another thing that I had to resort to that I didn't want to, but unfortunately has happened, is this. The emergency declogger, which itself is now clogged, but I was running out of power because the electric miners could not. Let's go ahead and empty this so maybe it can start trying to empty its contents. The coal miners were not putting on, which means the boilers were turning off, which had power problems. Now I have solar at day, so the demand on coal is much lighter, which is possibly another reason why coal is starting to get up there. I am trying to compensate by actually turning on more of these furnaces, but the furnaces don't consume coal nowhere near as fast. And I could use it for the assembling machine, grenades, but, it's not making at any fast rate, you could say. So, probably because of the lack of iron, I'm being very careful with how many of these I put on, because I've had to deconstruct to try and clear the belts out for a little bit. I also have this mile-long buffer that I put on down here as well to just give me more space on the belt, but these buffers, you could call them, I have to use them effectively, because just putting a buffer doesn't solve my problems. It just fills my belt with more junk. The thing that solves my problem is going to be consuming the stuff faster than it is being put onto the belt. That is my issue. And I wanted to bring you guys in before I break a second time and just choose to go with the nuclear option. I may look into using circuits. I may use circuits to control what is getting taken, what uses what, depending on how much of each item I have. I need to figure out how I'm going to calculate the entirety. I don't want to do this for the whole belt, because that would be unsightly. And I was told that that's circuit sin to take everything and just make it into this. So we're going to avoid doing that. And we're going to do it properly. Have a way, just to have somebody, be able to count how many items are going through, and every time it passes it, will reset and hold accordingly. I'll figure something out. There's a lot of things you can do with circuits, but I'm learning. So yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how I'm gonna do this. I may even put the miners themselves on different power and use, what is it, these things here, the power switches, so I can turn on and off certain miners depending on what resource I need. That actually sounds possibly like a doable thing. Like if I measure that, I wouldn't even have to measure the whole time. Anyways, I am going off on a tangent. That's what happens when I bring you guys in live, is that I go off on little tangents. I also want to mention, I know I mentioned it I put in a little part at the beginning of the video. I am mentioning it here again. I apologize for the audio mismatches. I was trying to use supposedly a higher quality mic, and apparently I'm using it wrong because it sounds worse than my old headphones. So I went back to using the old headphone mic, and it may be a little bit quieter. I'm sorry. I will do my best in editing to try and make that better. But needless to say, at least hopefully it should be a little bit more consistent here forward. Hopefully. Editor Shantogen will complain later about that. Outside of that, I did set up a little bit of a defense, actually. Let's go ahead and grab the walls that I was going to finish walling myself in with. We need to block off a bit down here, because I don't want them getting in through here either. So we're just gonna do that. And there we go. I'll put a turret down there later. I don't even think I have. No, I don't have enough to make a turret right now. Besides, I don't have the ammo to put into it anyways, because I put all my ammo in these turrets. And as you can see, I now have at least a front line to defend from. My back line is very much exposed, but I have a little bit more trees on my back line, so I'm not too terribly concerned at this point. But I will have to deal with that eventually. And as far as what I mentioned previously on the previous clip about me resolving liquids, I haven't even touched liquids yet. I am still trying to resolve items before I start adding more with barreled liquids. And I do have, you could say, my several degrees of failure that I have, which is how many of my rules I have to break to be able to get this done. So please excuse me 1 second while I go ahead and mark down my first degree of failure. So here we go. Marked it as being currently activated. I am using circuits. I have chosen to go ahead and start using circuits. I already have, but that's the thing. I'm going to try to salvage this as best I can. I'm still trying to stick to one belt. Hopefully we can start getting. Oh look, I have two red belts. Lovely. Hopefully I can get some more red belts going and speed this up a little bit. We'll see. And yeah, I will bring you guys back a little bit later when I have solved more problems. Hopefully. Or until I fail again. We shall see. It's probably going to be fail. Anyways. Transition. And roughly 11 hours later, I'm here. Welcome back. I wanted to bring you guys in for an update. I wish I had a bigger update for 11 hours. It wasn't until I went into the video editing that I realized that I had spent the last 11 hours and got very little done. But I got some stuff done. First things first, as you can see, we're actually getting oil, finally. I've kind of sort of walled in a lot of things here in hopes, and I did have to clear a few nests. The evolution is getting kind of high, so I'm a little concerned, but I think we just finished researching flamethrowers, so I should be able to start making those soon. Kind of walled in just a little bit of an area to, in hopes, kind of stave off a bit. I'm only, if we actually zoom into here, I'm actually only using one pump out of all the nodes that I can possibly have. And that is strictly because I don't want pollution to get to these guys. I don't care about the worms, but I do care about these two patches out here. So I was hoping to keep it down, and I mean, let's be real, this sushi base is not going anywhere fast. So I just slapped 10 tanks here. Is that 10? 2, 4, 6, 8? Yeah, 10 tanks to just kind of get things through. As you can see, I have increased a little bit of here. The belt is going faster. Yes, I have upgraded to red belts officially. Yay! Um, yeah, these things are, at night, I'm still having power issues. Part of the reason is probably because I condensed the belt a little bit from what you guys remember. As you can see, the buffer is mostly gone. I have truncated said buffer by a lot. Because I realized I didn't need that much of a buffer. And the power's out. Of course it is. Yeah, great timing to record right when the power goes out. Goes out every night. Because I didn't have any oil to make batteries so that I could make accumulators. I have more than enough solar panels to power everything. But now we have to sit here in the dark and wait for the sun to get back. Oh, there. Oh, looks like we're starting to get something back. That being said, yes, I have cleared out even this super long line I had here. I also kind of like this, you know, just carving a straight line through this. Finding more resources. Really? Do I need to move you over yet again? I don't want to break that pole though, because I don't want to have to restring poles and stuff. I guess it's not a big deal to restring that pole. I can just do that, and then where do I have any green? I can make some on me. Let's go ahead and make some of those on me while we have it here. As you can see, I have, come on, and I'm just gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do that. So that way, when I get rid of this hole, yeah, everything should still be fine. Yep, great, fantastic. And that way I can actually put the other one down there too. And then don't forget to connect. Do that. And do that. Click on that and do that and do that. So now all of these should be on G. Yep. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say. I upgraded everything to fast inserters because at this point, because I'm controlling things with circuits, it doesn't matter how slow or fast they insert. It just needs to get done, and it was going to be a little bit quicker to just use fast inserters because on some of the curves and stuff, the regular inserter might not be able to pick up the items with the red belts. I just changed it to fast inserters. We are officially making engines. I don't think I have a whole lot of engines yet, but we should have some. How many engines we got? We got 3. Not even enough to make a car yet, but we got some. Okay, let's take a moment and well, before I go to that, let's take a moment and look at our degrees of failure, because I have added a degree of failure. Warehousing overflow. Basically, there was a point in time where I had to empty the belt of nonsense, at least until I could start getting a feel and learning circuits, because I didn't know how to use circuits. I still consider myself very unfamiliar with circuits, but I have them doing things, and that's progress. That being said, what you can see here are the thank you, are the totals. So how am I measuring things? Well, first and foremost, here's my little key. Yes, I'm having a lot of fun with the mods, and specifically the text plate mods. Alright, sue me. Uh, this is the key. So, dot means it's controlled. Empty dot means it's simply tracked, and then the gear means that it's also keeping count of storage. Those that don't, we'll get to the storage here in a minute, but those that don't, essentially, what it's measuring is from here. There are 22 sections here that are being monitored. Out of those 22, why 22? That's just the number I ended up with. I don't know. And then I've just been basing my numbers off of that. The key thing is not, why you have a specific number, as long as you just keep it consistent amongst that. So I have that section of 22, and it's measuring the items that are flowing through. How much iron, copper, gears, circuits, wires, so on and so forth. Once that is measured, it's kept tracked, and then we have these decider combinators. And if the total number, that's a bad one because that one also tracks storage, that's a bad one because that one also tracks storage, there we go. If the number drops below a certain amount, it will then in turn activate those inserters to be able to put onto the belt. The goal is that since I'm only measuring a small section, that whenever something is in here is missing, it will get respectively put in as it cycles through, and eventually you will end up with a normal-ish distribution of items, given enough time. So for example, right now, green science is set to 6, we have 11, so that's why it is currently turned off. There's a couple of things that I'm starting to run a little bit low on. One of those things being coal, because the belt, as you can see, it has a lot of stone and it has a lot of belts and inserters. And we can even see it here. See, it has 50 some odd belts on almost any given section. And where are the bricks? Bricks also have like 55. Not that many inserters. The inserters are finally going down. There was quite a bit, but I've kind of been burning through them. But you should see that all of those. So yeah, the belts is turned off. The inserters are turned off. And right now I'm just I had a whole bunch. So again, back to the warehousing overflow. I had a whole bunch stored in a chest, in the box of shame, so to speak. And I just slowly put it back onto the belt and said, you know what? I'm taking my time. Clearly, it's been 11 hours since the last time I recorded a little bit. I'm okay with waiting. I am just going to put it back onto the belt and have the belt sorted out and slowly and surely get rid of the excess that I have. As I continue to need to measure things, I continue to add things. For example, this right here, we have pipes, and then this are underground pipes. I haven't made enough landfill. Do I have enough landfill to do that now? I should probably get more to the point, but I like going on these little bit of a tangent sometimes. This is how I do things. I'm sorry. This is me. This is the Shanto way. And there we go. See? And then what I can do here is I can just go here, and we can go U for underground pipes. And then I just, click here, go whee, and then it is not being controlled, and it will account for storage. Gear, right, storage. So storage is what I have here. There are certain things that I am keeping track, not just of what crosses here, but storage. Those items mostly are items that I need to use. For example, solar panels. I currently have, where's S panel. So we have 21 total that is controlled and storage. And one of these has the solar panels in it. I don't know which one because I can't remember for, oh, there it is. We have it currently set to 50. So whenever the total number drops below 50, it should turn on. So currently it should be on, right? Yeah, it's on. And that's just so that I can keep up with power. Because here, hopefully, once I get that oil flowing, I'm going to make accumulators. And I'm going to be able to store so I stop having these drops at night. Because Bob, Barry, and Bert have done their job well. At this point, I'm going to need the coal that is getting onto the line for plastic. And the line is just a little too cluttered to keep, it is difficult to try and do a single belt sushi. I wouldn't recommend this. I am having fun overcoming the challenge, but I would not recommend this because it has me making very interesting decisions. Like, for example, do I need this? And it's part of the reason why you see that I have upgraded to solar and that I'm not too concerned about losing power at night is because I don't need the boilers. I need the coal on the belt for plastic. I'm going to need plastic to be able to beat the game. That's just how it is. I don't need the boilers taking from the limited quantity I have available on the belt. Because the only way that I can increase the total capacity of the belt is by adding more belt. Adding more belt just makes the round trip longer, which makes everything slower. I will eventually have to make the belt longer, but I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. So I'm doing a lot of hand things, like oftentimes I'll even take, oh, I'm good on military science. Let me go ahead and swap one of the militaries to something else. I recently took out, I think one of the gears. I swapped it out to be able to put this, the different things to just swap out and use what I need instead of trying to just add more onto the line because the capacity I have is limited. And the boilers are one of those things that is just going to have to, you know what? I'm sorry, boilers, but we're cutting you off. You guys aren't going to take any more. I'm sorry, Bob. Don't worry. We have a special place for you, and I don't have it set up yet because I don't know where it's going to be. So we'll leave you guys here. But Bob, don't you worry. You'll be coming with me. Barry, Bert, I'm sorry. You're getting abandoned. Long story short, this is where I'm at. This is the update. I finally have oil flowing into the base. So I will be working on getting Blue Science up and running. And soon we should have, dare I say, bots. But first I'm going to get flamethrower turrets. And then I can tap the rest of that. And even once I get flamethrower turrets, because there's actually 3 more oil fields out this way. Thinking, I could probably expand out that way to grab some more. I'd get some more copper and iron ore there as well. And we're just going to continue with the solar. I think solar's probably going to be the best bet for us because it doesn't take any resources. I don't have to put things on the belt if I just keep on spamming solar. So that's the plan. I don't know how long it's going to be till the next update, but I just wanted to bring you guys in. And hopefully this will be a higher number than 0 when I bring you in. We shall see. I guess another one of those funky transition times, right? What? Oh boy. Alright. Hopefully the sound is better. I have tried to do a couple of things. This video's sound is going to be all over the place. I've just come to accept it. It may not do very well, but it is what it is. That being said, yeah, as you can see, I have committed circuit sin. I am now measuring everything on the belt directly. It's 1,000 some odd circuits worth of just stuff connected. And I'm trying to keep track of everything, and it's been going slow. I think I've gone almost probably 20 hours. I'm trying to look in the game to see what the hour mark was from my last recording. Yeah, 10, 11 hours. That's the last time I hit the record button. And things are looking horrible. And I am about to do the Great Purge. What is the Great Purge? Well, as you can see, my box of shame has grown. And I'm still struggling with power. We're still waiting for more accumulators to make so that I can store power for overnight. But one of the things I'm going to do is I am going to try and purge as much of this belt as I possibly can. I'm going to try to keep it in the system so that the system doesn't continue to make things that I don't need it to make. And I have made the burner inserter that's going to put everything back onto the belt space away temporarily. So that way it doesn't put it right back on the belt as I'm emptying it. But I'm going to stand here and I'm just going to empty the belt. For you guys, it'll be a time lapse. For me, I'm going to be here for a little bit, and we're going to do the Great Purge. So, join me, will you? And let's purge this sushi. And there we go. One full rotation of the belt purge. I may have overshot how many boxes I thought I would need. Only needed 4-ish steel boxes. 5 if you maybe count all the stuff that's stuck in the wood boxes up there. But, and at least it's clear, and the burner inserter will now slowly put everything back onto the belt. And hopefully we will start getting science flowing again, because it's been taking way too long for any science to flow. I mean, just now the pollution increased, but there was one point where I had literally just 3 separated, and it was sad. It was very sad. Not that I was complaining though, because there's a lump of thing right there that we have to deal with, but hopefully we'll start getting something flowing at least. I hope. Anyways, I'll bring you back after all this nonsense has been solved. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I am failing this sushi hard.
How long have I been here? Am I even awake? Alive?
Okay, let's get one thing straight here. I suck at video games, alright? So, before you rip me a new one in the comments, just know that I suck at video games. My motto is failing at life, one game at a time. That being said, I have left this running AFK for a while, as you can see, and I still don't even have yellow up. Getting close to having yellow up, I think. Yeah. I could technically also research, go ahead and view both of those while we're here, I suppose. But yeah, this has been very slow going. I have thought of maybe 1,000 different ways of making this quicker. If I would have lost my phone. Anyways, that's dang it. I've thought about 1,000 different ways of making this quicker, and if I would have implemented any of them, I would definitely be going quicker. But it's just, I don't know. My brain is like, okay, things are working slowly, but they're working. So you know what? Don't touch anything. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. And then when something doesn't work, I fix that one thing, and then I don't touch anything. I should touch more things because I could be making this process go extremely quicker. But instead, I'm here and like, just let it run. Let it do its thing. The beautiful thing about sushi is that eventually something will come out of it. I'm like, yeah, but sitting here for hours upon hours. I'm at 83 hours. This game has been running continuously for like, probably this is his 3rd day in a row that I have not shut this game off. Yes, I am making explosive ammo because I finally actually made a tank. I had to clear some nests that were down there in the corner. But yeah, as you guys saw with the little montage, it's been a while, but I wanted to bring you guys back in, let you guys know, hey, we're getting somewhere. Slowly, but we're getting somewhere. First thing, as you can see, is now everything is tracked. There's no longer, I could probably get rid of that circle one because if I have an assembler making something, I want to track. I'm pretty sure there's probably 1 or 2 things I'm not tracking yet, and I think one of those things is it pipes? No, I got both pipes. Yeah, I got pipes done. There's something. I know there's something I'm not tracking that I need to track. I think it's batteries. Batteries are the ones that I'm not tracking, right? That's the next one that I needed to do was batteries. I'm pretty sure that was what this thing here was going to be set for. So let's just do this, even though I'm not making nowhere near enough batteries to justify everything at this point. If I'm making it, I need to track it. That's just how my brain is currently working. We have 532 batteries on the belt. See, this is why I have to track things. Why am I short on batteries if we have 500 and some change on the belt? Ah! I don't understand. What is wrong? Alright, batteries. Oh, by the way, if you see me misspell things, just understand that though it sounds like English is my first language, it's not. And I reserve the right to misspell things. I'm sorry. That's just how it's gonna have to be. Oh, come on. Oh, come on! You know what? We'll just... and we'll, I don't think I'm tracking that anymore, am I? Yeah, no, we don't have yellow belts. I don't need that. Am I tracking the stock of inserter here? I don't think so, because I don't think I got inserters on there either. See? Whatever's on the belt's on the belt. See? I don't need that. See? Look. We make do, alright? We make do. We go there, we do that, and there we go. I before E, I have no idea. I just write things, okay? Box of shame, still getting some use out of that. Oh look, we have something researching finally. There's no box behind the plastic. I don't know what you're talking about, alright? There's totally not a box of coal behind the plastic. Because at one point in time I had 4,000 coal on the belt.
that was basically taking up, like, it stopped. I had so much coal on the belt, it stopped looking like a sushi, all right? It looked like half of the belt was sushi and the other half was coal. I had to get rid of some coal. And it's just in a box up there, okay? Sue me. It's another degree of failure, all right? A quote from a movie. Bonus points if you guys know where that's from. But right now, I am just trying to stock up a little bit on petroleum gas because that's what was my most recent blockage. There's Bob, Barry, and Bert, and we actually have a couple of networks these guys are replacing here because this is a little bit too awkward. Now that I probably have a tank, I can go in and clear it out, but before I didn't, so I just have little landmines and a couple of flamethrowers blocking it. As I get more... Do I have any? Nope, don't have any made. So if I get more, when I get more, I'll expand. I've expanded solar, and now we also have accumulators up there. So that is the update. And I will bring you back, hopefully, fingers crossed, with yellow science. Behold, as we approach hour 100 of this run, I am finally starting to make the last things I will need for this run. You can even see in the corner, I'm researching rocket control units. It only took me 100 hours. Ugh. Join me, will you? I'm going to take a ride on this singular sushi belt around the entirety of my base. Just so you can see, and I can prove that this is indeed one belt, uninterrupted, of sushi. I apologize for its ugliness, but I had to track everything on the belt. So, it is what it is. I present to you my accursed sushi belt. That is, everything has been created on that belt. Oh, man. So, as we are also about to cross over, or maybe have crossed over, I don't know how long this montage is going to take, the hour mark of this video, I am going to cut more to the chase, and I'm going to bring you guys back once I have the rocket silo down. Because the only thing that I have to do at this point is wait. Problem solve and wait. That is the name of the game. So, I'll see you guys when the silo is down. Well, that was 9 hours of recording footage, condensed to 7 seconds for your viewing pleasure. I don't have the silo down just yet, but I wanted to bring you guys back because I do believe that we are on the final stretch. First and foremost, did I grab? No, I didn't grab. Let's grab some coal, so that way we can get the Lube Express running. As you can see, I have added a few things. Not added. I've made some changes. I have lost what degree of failure we're at. But I think I'll definitely have to put like one more in here. We'll call it 5. A period. And then circular inserters. Because it feels a little bit like cheating, and I will explain here in just a moment what I mean by circular inserters. Let's just go ahead and do that. Beautiful. Okay. Do I need... Is all of this just empty? No mineable resources. Sorry if you just heard something there. My apologies. So, let's go ahead and do that. You are still working. Your tiny little took us off. Let's do that. And then... just do that. And then I need more cables. Of course I don't have enough. So I'm sitting here and be like, oh, there's nothing much for me to do. No, there's definitely stuff to be done. I'm just an idiot. Alright, let's go to that. You there. And you there. And then we will take you. All of that there. And you there. And that there. There. And I gotta do this. I'm panicking. Please hold. I spent this entire clip thinking that my microphone was on, but it wasn't. So now, editor Shanto here has to dub what he was saying here. But I'm going to do it in a much more concise form, which is probably for the better. I go around and do a whole bunch of different little small things. I explain about the circular inserter failure thing, which is actually just basically I was pulling items off of a belt and putting them back on, right? Like pulling it off after the assembler and putting it back on before the assembler to kind of keep high priority or in demand items kind of stuck in that spot until it would finish science. That being said, it's all done. Now I just have to work on RCUs and building the rocket itself. And I made a joke about halfway through this sentence. Life sucks. But I have returned here, and after so long, this run is finally going to be concluded. Finally. It took me a long time. Boy, was this a roller coaster. Look at the top time. 190 hours. Several degrees of failure. We have the Lube Express. I ran out of fuel for it long ago. There's so much. So, with that being said, to end this video in any sort of semblance of normalcy. Did I do here? Yeah, I have that. We're going to go ahead and get this kick started. And then I'm going to just ride the belt around. And then we're going to wait for the rocket to make. Because that's all that's left to do. And then I can get off of this forsaken sushi planet. So, join me, will you, for one last tour of my base. Been a long journey, Bob. But I'm gonna need you to cover your eyes for just a moment. Just look away. Close them. Don't worry, Bob. They went to the farm, to the factory, actually, to the factory uphill. Let's go ahead and get out of here. It is time for us to move on to much better pasture. Let's get off of this godforsaken belt.